Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you a weekly update in Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Real-Time Index. I did record this video, by the way, on Monday morning, July 14th, very early Monday morning, actually. Technically late Sunday night in the U.S. I'm just going to kind of backtrack a little bit, which I like to do to show the sequence of events that we've been expecting. With this particular chart, this is a 5-year channel top that goes back to the 2020 low. And last November, not quite a year ago, we closed above this 5-year structure, which at that point shifted our focus into bullish continuation longer term rather than the possibility for a bearish rotation mid to longer term. And so having closed above the 84,736 channel top back in November, we then anticipated, what was really left for us at that time was, and we violated this channel. There was a channel, as I recall, here. We took that out onward and upward. And so 122,433, as you're well aware, if you've been watching the series for the last few months, is a full swing. Nothing more than the 21 high minus the 22 low. Then when we take the 21 high out, we rally by an exact amount equal to the previous long-term sell-off. And so there's a sort of physics behind this, I think. I don't think there's anything golden about 122,433 in that it can contain buying, through the rest of the year. But I've seen that happen before. We've reached an objective. That doesn't mean this market won't continue higher. And in fact, if you've been following the series, you know that, I'm actually going to point to this chart here.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
You know that we've been anticipating the 129,805 formation as well as the 122,433. It wasn't long ago, back in May, that these two had coincided, converged exactly. But now you've got the channel top pulling away, and I really think it is the channel top that is our overall objective, the 129,805 level. With present volatility, the bar that you see here, this most recent bar, is over the weekend reaching our long-term objective. Last week was a big rally. We pushed through not only the 109,192 high, but this descending channel top that I'd mentioned as our next go with buy signal. I think I was saying within 1 to 2 months with present volatility, 3 to 5 weeks perhaps. Like within a week, we've reached, following the buy signal above 108.35, the 122.433 level. And I think there's more to come. I think 129.805 is likely. And in fact, there is a convergent channel top right now that is nearer term in scope that goes back to the April low. So this is a four-month channel in its own right. Is that right? For April, May, June, July, about 4 months. A 4-month channel top at 129,991. With present volatility, there's the very real possibility we could see this area this week. If we get a daily settlement, let's say Sunday, Monday above 122,433, and we are right there. If you look upper left, you can see the actual high is 122,593. I think this is a 24-hour market, so daily settlements don't have that kind of bearing. What is a daily settlement when a market trades continuously, essentially? So I'll leave that to you. But if we push through 122,433 and hold, let's say, for a day or so, I think our next stop, potentially by Friday, is 129,805 to 129,991. And this is, a 1-year channel structure that can contain monthly, possibly quarterly, potentially through the rest of the year. We could fall away from here back to support that I'll show in a moment. But if we do close this week or any week above these structures, and it is particularly the longer term one at 129.805, but because we've got this 3-4 month channel top that is converging now, we must add it to the mix, 129.991. If settled above, and I don't see that this week, it may happen over the next few weeks, and if so, then we're looking for this sort of continued long-term continuation. I think that this a full channel extension. So when you have these well-defined channels, as we're in now in the 129.805 region as the ceiling, if you take that ceiling out, you enter a new, this could actually be an increasingly accelerated move. That could play out. I mean, if we reach 129 roughly this week, this was a 4-month move from the April low to the July high. And if we take it out, we could see another 4-month or sooner move to 175, 171. So if we close this week above 129.991, or we take this level out, then I'm expecting the mid 170s and climbing as our next 3 to 4 month target, and I think that's realistic. But until then, this is an area where if you've been long Bitcoin and you're more of a midterm investor, and I'm talking several months out, for instance, this is an area to respect for taking at least some profits. And of course, this has been in a continuous bull move for some time, and you really don't want to unload everything. You want to keep some, and if we close above 129.991, you'll be grateful for having done so. The mid 170s and climbing then a realistic by the end of the year objective. And that is the big picture to the upside. Now to the downside, as you might recall, and I'll reconstruct this in a moment, as you might recall, this descending channel top that I showed earlier was our buy signal basically last week at 108.335. That is our support now. And so I'll go back to this chart. That holding below 122.433, if we can't get up and over this and we begin to back away from it, we're right there right now. We can fall back to 108.335. How long would this take? This could be, with this present vertical move, it could be within 2 or 3 weeks. It could also take the better part of 2 months. It's really difficult to say. If we close this week, well, this would be next week's close. 117.235 is this week's low so far. I don't want to hang my hat on that level. I don't think it's significant. Really, what I want to say, which is what I began to say, is holding below 122.43 does allow bearish retracement back into this 108, 109 area. That 109.192 high, the 108.335 descending channel top. This is your base of support near to midterm. We could test this, round back up to 122.433 and onward and upward perhaps to the 129.805 formation. But I'm going to take us back to this chart. Oh, no, not that chart. This chart. This is our downside, the what if scenario. Wrong tool. Here we are again. That this channel bottom at 103.014 is rising and converging over the next few weeks with this 108.35. And it really is this rising structure at this point in time based entirely, or at least in large part, on this week's high. So, if we keep pushing to new highs, this gets reconstructed and takes on a different angle and a different number. But at this point in time, if we were to freeze frame and fall away from here for the next month or so, 103.014 and climbing, and we'll be converging, with the high area that I can just kind of remind you of here over the next few weeks. This is our base of support, and if we close below 103.014, I think we've got a good high through the rest of the year. The next 2 to 3 months then likely to cascade south to 81.066, and that low 80s climbing, into by October into the 87,000 handle, and that is reminiscent then, of course, of this long-term channel top at 84,736, which will be in the 86,000 handle by 85,000 handle by October. So I'm going to take us back here because I don't have them on the same chart, but this 81,066 will be in close correlation with that long-term channel top I showed you before, that once again I'm going to show again right here. It will be, I'm just actually, why don't I just, there's enough time left here. We're still under 10 minutes, so it is really this area that would be considered kind of a 2 to 3 month target, able to contain selling into next year, and we can rotate up from there. That would be anticipated if over the coming weeks we were to close below this 103.014. But I don't want to spend a lot of time there. I think really the takeaway now is to the upside, of course, and that is expecting 129.805. 129.991. We could see this area by the end of the week. I'm recording this early Monday morning. And if we take 122.433 out convincingly, we can certainly see this by the end of the week where Bitcoin could actually place a longer term high, possibly through the rest of the year. I think I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I've got for this week's Bitcoin update. You have a great week.